floor for Tennessee.
Well, she's part of the dynamic duo, and Rennia Davis does a nice job moving with and without the basketball when she is active, and especially watch to see if she's crashing the boards, because if she is, that's going to be a good day for Rennia Davis. But Rae Burrell, this has been misconsistency for the Lady Vols. She has pushed in transition. She has been able to pull up jumpers. We're going to say wow a few times today because she has the ability to hit some very difficult shots.
I can tell you both Carolyn Peck and I are so excited for this game. It is actually happening. We can confirm that because we're about to tip off. Rescheduled for the third time, and now we get Tennessee and Texas A&M.
And talking to Kelly Harper, she didn't know whether Texas A&M was going to start in a man-to-man or a zone. Zone was the answer, and it looked like a 1-2-2. Normally they've played a matchup like a 2-3 style.
Texas A&M, their lineup looks very similar if you've watched them before. They stick with that same starting five. We told you about Sierra Johnson, but it is different today for India Jones. As you said, they're moving Johnson around.
Well, Johnson's going to be at the top, setting a ball screen, and right there, she frees up Aaliyah Wilson.
For Tennessee, you're used to seeing Marta Suarez in the starting lineup. She's going to be day-to-day. Kelly Harper told us for probably the rest of the season. That's why Cassiana Kushkitwa is in the starting lineup for the second game in a row.
I like
Aaliyah Wilson off the screen, in and out.
But I like Cassie Kushkitwa in the starting lineup for the Lady Vols. She has done a nice job of really using her size, her length, and she's been able to go the distance, playing several minutes for the Lady Vols.
Yeah, her and Tamari Key have been fantastic. Driving in the paint with contact, and Kayla Wells finishes. Tennessee on the move quickly, and it's stolen away by Jordan Nixon. Jones kicks back to Nixon. Kayla Wells. Already we've seen multiple ways that Texas A&M can score the basketball.
Well, it all starts with Sierra Johnson up top, setting that ball screen, just gives Kayla Wells the advantage to be able to drive down the middle.
Texas A&M brings so much experience.
Yeah, you've got the seniors in Aaliyah Wilson. You have India Jones, Sierra Johnson, Kayla Wells, and they think like seniors. They are one step ahead, and Gary Blair talks about how that allows him to run and do different things.
Kushkitwa gets the ball in the post going up against Sierra Johnson. Out of bounds, it will stay with Tennessee. But Gary Blair is lucky to have such a veteran group, and they have really bought in and found their new identity without Kennedy Carter, who left early for the WNBA.
And that just shows what a great coach Gary Blair is. That's a good finish by Tamari Key. Gary Blair, though, able to make the adjustment. You had a superstar in Kennedy Carter. Everything was centered to her. Now he has a team that on any given night, any player could step up and be that dominant player.
That's how they've got to 18-1, that only loss coming to LSU this season, who they later beat. Rennia Davis, the rebound, the putback. What a difference she can make for Tennessee.
Well, and when she's on the glass, you watch her, when she is aggressive rebounding the basketball, it affects the rest of her game. And I think she sets the tone for everybody else. When they say Rennia Davis is rebounding, we got to get involved too.
Now, Tennessee tried to make up for not having her on the floor against Kentucky on Thursday. They had to use multiple players because she plays the 3 and the 4 for Tennessee.
Well, and Kelly Harper said she would have to put in a different guard when needed that help on the perimeter. Look at Rae Burrell knocking it down. But if she needed, sometimes they play Rennia Davis at the 4, and that would be a different player. Instead of having one player that could go inside and out like Rennia Davis does, it had to be done by committee to replace her.
Tennessee was not able to get the win over Kentucky on Thursday. They split the regular season series with the Wildcats this season. Sierra Johnson break it down. Key got in trouble and traveled. How excited was Kelly Harper when she told us that Rennia Davis would play today?
Oh, it was a celebration. She was super excited to have Rennia Davis, and I think those two have a unique relationship. She is one of the biggest cheerleaders for Rennia Davis, not just because of the kind of player she is, but the type of person Rennia Davis is.
Yeah, for Rennia to make that decision to stay at Tennessee when Kelly Harper took over for Holly Warlick, as you see Kassiana Kushkitawa finishing, that's big. Davis helped set the tone for this new era of Lady Vol basketball. That'll be a foul on Ray Burrell.
Lady Vols foul number 12, Ray Burrell. That's her first.
When Tennessee is sharing the basketball and you watch Jordan Horston goes in, attacks India Jones, that leaves Cassie Kushkitawa down low for the easy two.
6 of Tennessee's 9 points have come in the paint. Both of these teams score about 40 points per game in the paint. Davis.
Basket by Rennia Davis.
Perfect.
Tennessee's clicking for all of the problems they had to get to College Station. It looks like it has not affected them.
11 straight points for Tennessee. Aaliyah Wilson pull up.
Volunteers ball.
Tennessee is going to battle on the boards too. They're one of the top rebounding teams in the nation, 5th in rebounds per game. Texas A&M knew they were going to have to box out today.
Well, that's one of the things when you have a former Lady Vol leading the Lady Vols in Kelly Harper. Rebounding was a point of emphasis. She said she wanted to pick up the intensity defensively and get back to rebounding. Rebounding is what leads to championships, and that's what this team has on their mind.
Wilson trying to create again.
But you look at the length of Tennessee, making any seam driving to the basket very difficult.
India Jones will try it, and she gets caught underneath the basket. Tennessee takes it. And a double dribble called on Jordan Horston. Coming up, we'll take you back to Texas A&M's last second win over Arkansas. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. We want to take you back a week ago today. Texas A&M playing Arkansas. Let's break down their buzzer beater.
And it's very similar to the first time A&M beat Arkansas. Kayla Wells goes in to post up, but there's not enough space. So India Jones has the presence of mind to get the ball back to Jordan Nixon. And then Sierra Johnson, one of the best screeners in the SEC, sets a ball screen. Jordan Nixon snakes the screen, finds the seam, gets the easy two, and seals the deal for Texas A&M over Arkansas.
That was their 7th ranked win of the season. The second time that Jordan Nixon has hit a buzzer beater against Arkansas to beat the Razorbacks this season. That was a week ago today. But this Texas A&M team, we talk about their experience, that helped them in this moment.
I think just down the stretch, they have won so many close games in understanding and having the patience and not panic. There has been no panic in the Texas A&M Aggies.
Yeah, they are 5-1 this season in games decided by 5 points or less. Right now, though, in this one, it's been all Tennessee. 11 straight points for Tennessee. It'll be A&M ball.
But Texas A&M is struggling with finding ways to score. You look at how Tennessee's length allows them to pack the paint. The lanes aren't open, and the post players for Texas A&M are a little gun shy, putting shots up against the size of Tennessee.
Tamari Key has some trouble against the size of Sierra Johnson. It'll stay with Tennessee.
Tamari Key's game has evolved, especially on the defensive side in blocking shots. I would like to see her take that next step post-wise at the college level of commanding her space before she gets the basketball so that offensively when she does it just leads straight to a score.
Aggies foul number 2, Aaliyah Wilson. That's her first on the team.
Aaliyah Wilson is called for her first foul, but you mentioned Tamari Key's blocks numbers. Last 2 games, 8 blocks per game. She's had a total of 16 blocks in the last 2.
It's just ridiculous. But she's doing a nice job blocking shots and for the most part, staying in the game, not getting herself into foul trouble.
That's going to be important for her to not get in foul trouble today. Jordan Horston on the runner. And Dia Jones wants it. A&M hasn't scored in almost 5 minutes. Short by Jones. Out of bounds off of A&M.
Well, how do you score against the length of Texas A&M? One of the things is you've got to be able to run in transition before the defense gets set. And right now, A&M not beating Tennessee down the floor.
Tennessee has brought in Marta Suarez. She's dealing with a lower leg injury. Wasn't able to go very long in that Kentucky game on Thursday. Renaya Davis from range.
Ooh, they missed India Jones. She was wide open in transition.
Kayla Wells in the paint. Jones with the second chance, and Kush Kidwa should be called for that foul, I believe, coming over the back. No, it's on Marta Suarez.
2, Destiny Salary checks in for Tennessee.
We have an ACC Big 12 Big Monday doubleheader for you on ESPN and the ESPN app. Number 9 Virginia squares off against number 17 Florida State at 7 Eastern. Then we head to the Big 12 for 7th-ranked Texas Tech taking on TCU in Fort Worth. That's our Big Monday lineup for you tomorrow. Courtney Lyle, Carolyn Peck, excited to be with you for this top 16 battle in Bryan College Station today. This is the 3rd time this game has been on the schedule, and finally we get to play it.
Well, and Texas A&M sitting at number 2 in the SEC, and Tennessee sitting at number 3. Got to believe the focus is on for these two players, for these two teams.
Now the SEC tournament not far away, just a couple weeks away in Greenville, South Carolina. You want to be a top 4 seed to get the double bye. Kush Kidwa down low. Tennessee now has 10 paint points. Kayla Wells. First 3 ball for the Aggies today. Wells has been hot as of late. She's had double-figure points in their last 4 games.
Well, against Arkansas, Kayla Wells was very active in attacking off the dribble. She's going to have to hit those kind of outside shots to open up the driving lanes in order to make Tennessee have to come out on the perimeter. You see how much space Kayla Wells has. No one goes out to guard her. And when you're wide open like that, when you have the career best 3-point field goal percentage at Texas A&M, you got to be ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, she's 11th in total career made threes at 100 now. Kush Kidwa at the line for Tennessee. She was fouled by Mackenzie Green. And she should get 2 shots.
I was wondering, did they bring the 1-and-1 back? I wish they would. I miss the 1-and-1.
I don't think they're just going to pop it in the middle of a game on us, but man, Kelly Harper talking about Kush Kidwa and Tamari Key. It almost brought a tear to her eye yesterday in our meeting with her about how proud she is of her post players.
Well, in talking about how they have developed both Tamari Key and Kush Kidwa, and in a tough season, especially having the COVID pauses, they have really reaped the benefit, the individual work that they've been able to put in, and now it has really, it's come over into games. And you look at the conditioning that Kush Kidwa is in. I like that, sitting on the post and attacking straight at Sierra Johnson. She used to not do it. She used to get pushed away from the lane.
And Tennessee has had 2 COVID shutdowns. The first one was back on December 29th. Just coming out of their second one, were able to play Kentucky on Thursday, but lost that game in Rupp Arena. Suarez just picked up her second foul. So Tamari Key checks back in for Tennessee.
Aggies ball.
Wells back to Mackenzie Green. Kayla Wells, she's been the one that's been on so far for Texas A&M. Inside to Tamari Key, right over Sierra Johnson.
And as long as Sierra Johnson allows the post players to get 2 feet in the paint, she's going to have a long night trying to guard the size of the Lady Vols.
Mackenzie Green will set things up for the final 15 seconds of the quarter. Destiny Pitts loves the 3 ball, loves to knock it down. Tie game. Horston from deep. Tied up at 15 after 10 minutes inside Reed Arena. Well, coming up today, we play for K. How a few moments with Coach Yao impacted one Aggies family forever.
And it was special because before my wife was diagnosed in 2007, we were out in Fresno in the regionals, and we were watching an ESPN special on Coach Yao receiving a chemo treatment on a flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Fresno, and my wife got very teary and just thought about the courage of Coach Yao, and Coach Yao kind of became a hero, and then soon after she was diagnosed. So to have the opportunity to meet Kay at the Final Four is very special.
Just so cool to hear the story about how Bob Starkey's wife, Sherry Starkey, before she was even diagnosed with cancer, had just a moment with Kay Yao. And Bob told us that Coach Yao came up and gave Sherry a big hug, and they went off and talked like they had known each other forever. And that little moment just stuck with Sherry, and later on Sherry would be diagnosed with breast cancer. We're so excited now that she is cancer free. She does not have to go to any other follow-up appointments, but you see Coach Starkey's shoes. Just that little moment, what a big impact Kay Yao had on the Starkey family.
And just about everyone that you would ever speak to that had a chance to meet Coach Yao would have a similar story of the impact that Coach Yao had on them, because she was such an engaging person and such a personal and caring woman.
It is our Play for K week. The Kay Yao Cancer Fund has awarded over $7 million to support cancer research that provides access to health care for underserved women, and it benefits cancer, all different types of cancer for women. If you can, we urge you to please visit kyao.com and make a donation. India Jones high up off the glass, and Texas A&M takes the lead. We were tied up at 15 after that first quarter. Tennessee had an 11-0 run at one point in the first quarter.
But Tennessee was able to just pound the basketball to their post players in the paint. Woo! Renia Davis just gave a shove to Destiny Pitts down low, got away with one.
This is Jordan Walker running the point for Tennessee, number 4 in orange. Outlet pass stolen away by Horston. At the elbow, got it.
Basket by Jordan Horston.
Mackenzie Green has been running the offense for Texas A&M, starting in the middle of that first quarter and onward. We're used to seeing Jordan Nixon run the point as Johnson finishes.
A&M trying to disrupt Tennessee, changing their defenses, going from a man to a zone.
Oh, the ball movement for Tennessee to get it back to Tamari Key. Wow.
And you saw Bob Starkey on the sideline, who is in charge of the defense for Texas A&M. Very disappointed because Sierra Johnson cannot just stand behind Tamari Key.
Kayla Wells has been on it. She had 7 points in the first quarter.
Let me keep an eye on the post defense of Sierra Johnson with Tamari Key. You've got to either three-quarter on the low side or the high side, but if you get nailed just behind the post, if you're behind, you've got to push her out of the paint. You can't let her just sit there and get 2 feet in the paint.
5 turnovers for Tennessee. Wells off the Johnson ball screen. Back to her. Sierra Johnson, she's a great screener.
Well, and a lot of times in an offense, the most dangerous person on the floor is that screener, because once you free up someone, your defense goes to help. You're the one that's open.
That's something that Texas A&M had worked on, is moving Sierra Johnson in that high post. Another steal and a score, this time for Mackenzie Green.
Texas
8 straight
A&M's defense,
buckets from A&M.
they're getting stingier and stingier. The defense now extended full court.
Horston in and out.
Ball, Lady Volunteers possession.
We were
They
talking
say
about
Tennessee has the possession arrow.
screener. You see Sierra Johnson on the screen. The post player didn't come out. It was Tamari Key still helping inside on the paint. Sierra Johnson knocks down the jumper.
Horston back to Key for the layup. Tamari Key now with 8 points.
Aggies ball.
Texas A&M only 2 turnovers so far today. Tennessee has 6. They'll keep this one. Jones driving, took Kush Kiddawa, swatted it from behind. Look at Kush Kiddawa getting down, being aggressive on the glass.
These 2 post players for the Lady Vols are dominating right now. They are dictating what they want to happen offensively.
Tennessee has 18 points in the paint. Wilson elevates. Gets it to fall. She's in double figures, the first player in double figures in the game.
I'd still say right now, Tennessee is the team in control. They're dominating, that they want to score in the paint and take away the paint from Texas A&M. This game will remain close as long as Texas A&M is able to knock down perimeter shots.
3-second violation on Tamari Key.
But right now, Tennessee is dominating. First, it's defensively, nothing in the paint, and then off and running that leads to, clean up the glass. It's all about the big girls and the Lady Vols right now.
Of their 25 points in the paint. We're going to keep an eye on these post duos for both Tennessee and Texas A&M in this game. And so far, as Rebecca said, Tennessee has the advantage here. Key and Kush Kiddawa averaged together about 19 points per game. Jones and Johnson about 24. Jones and Johnson right now just a total of 7 points.
I think it goes right back to what our friends in the studio talked about. Andy Landers said that the defense on Davis and Burrell, well, when you take away the perimeter of Tennessee, Tennessee can score inside. If you were to take away the perimeter right now of Texas A&M, the A&M post players have really struggled to get it done in the paint.
Anna Dramina is now in. You see her get the block there, number 33 in the white jersey for A&M. India Jones. Jones told us she had been working on different shots to get around this Tennessee height.
And she said one of the things that had been off with her shot, Coach Blair and Coach Starkey had talked about, you said your form up top, that's good. It was her feet down low and a matter of getting good spacing, not having your feet too close together, and don't rush your shot.
And that's what India Jones has been working on this week. Remember, Texas A&M didn't have a game on Thursday. Mackenzie Green. And Tamari Key affected her shot. In transition, Renaya Davis finishes.
Where will Texas A&M continue to find their offense? And I think it is going to be Kayla Wells and Aaliyah Wilson.
That'll be the first foul on Kush Kittiwa.
Kush Kittiwa, her first on the team in the second quarter.
Marta Suarez checks back in. Jordan Nixon back in for A&M. Well, Tuesday at 7 Eastern, Michigan State heads to Indiana to take on number 24 Purdue. Then it's the matchup of the night in the Big 12, another Red River showdown. Number 13 Texas squaring off against number 12 Oklahoma in Norman. You can also watch it live on the ESPN app. How about that Oklahoma team? A double overtime win against West Virginia the other night, 91-90. Austin Reeves had 28 points in that game. Oklahoma's a hot team. India Jones at the line for the Aggies. Texas A&M has not scored in almost 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
You're talking about a hot team. Texas A&M has been a hot team. They're on a 6-game win streak. They've beaten more ranked teams than anyone in the country. It's hard for me to understand. They're a one-loss team, played as many games as they've had, and they're not ranked in the top 4. Number 6 is what they've reached on the AP poll.
Yeah, the Aggies definitely have a fantastic resume. More ranked wins than anyone else in the nation. They're tied for the most wins with 18.
Look how far out Sierra Johnson's been pushed.
Marta Suarez on the floor for the basketball and saves it for Tennessee.
Right now with Sierra Johnson, they're playing small ball. Sierra Johnson's the only center on the floor, 4 guards around the perimeter. Tennessee in a man-to-man.
Wilson in and out.
And with only Sierra Johnson in the game, no India Jones, no offensive rebounders for Texas A&M.
Suarez turns it over. That's 8 turnovers for Tennessee. Jordan Nixon back to Destiny Pitts.
And that's where Sierra Johnson and Gary Blair talked about. She gave a shot play, didn't need it. Just catch it and go up with it. Worried about Tennessee's height.
Rae Burrell found herself down inside and open for a bucket. She's got 5 points.
When Rae Burrell goes to score, it doesn't matter how many defenders you think that's an impossible. No way. She makes something good happen.
The most consistent player for Tennessee this season. Johnson trying to break down Kush Kidwa, and she does. What a move. We were tied at 15 at the end of the first quarter. Tennessee can take the last shot. This is Horston. Marta Suarez lets the three fly, knocks it down like a pro. Marta Suarez nursing an injury and is still able to hit the three. We are tied up at 32 at the half. Kelsey, get a load of this game. It is rocking inside Reed Arena. Tie ball game at halftime.
We go.
Yes! Big time.
It's Play for K, benefiting the K Yao Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. Thanks to a Marta Suarez long ball, Tennessee and Texas A&M tied up as we get set to start the third quarter. Courtney Lyle alongside national championship winning head coach Carolyn Peck. What a first half we had. Both of these teams tied up at 32, just 20 minutes left to go.
And these two teams getting it done in two different ways. For Tennessee, it has been dominance of the paint, specifically of their post players, where A&M has had to rely on perimeter scoring, especially coming from Kayla Wells.
Tennessee has 22 of its 32 points in the paint today. Offensive foul on Kush Kidwa, but Tamari Key and Cassie Kush Kidwa have been so good for Tennessee. You see their season numbers combined. Today they've combined for 14 points and 10 rebounds.
And it's only halftime. Those are season numbers, and they're already there and only played half of this game. And I can imagine that Kelly Harper is going to continue to pound the ball inside.
For Texas A&M, they had to settle for a lot of perimeter shots. There's a long ball from Jordan Nixon, who sinks the three, because Tennessee's size was really affecting the inside game of Texas A&M. Rae Burrell answers.
I told you at halftime, she'd been very quiet. Only 5 points in that first half. It's just a matter of time for Rae Burrell to get going.
If you're just joining us, Tennessee does have Rennia Davis back. She's out there now, started this game after missing their last game due to medical reasons. 8 points in the first half for Rennia Davis. Here she is. Davis for three, too long. Kush Kidwa on the cleanup.
Tennessee has relied pretty much on the inside, but even when perimeter shots are taken, their post players have that position to get the offensive putback. That was great use of her body by Cassie Kush Kidwa.
She has come such a long way, especially just this last season under Kelly Harper. Kush Kidwa has progressed so well. That's going to be a foul on her as Wells drives to the basket.
Well, ever since last year she got rid of that knee brace, she's just been more mobile.
That, though, is 3 fouls on Kush Kidwa, so Marta Suarez checks into the game. We have a special NBA Sunday doubleheader for you on ESPN and the app. Dame and the Blazers start a 3-game road trip against Luka and the Mavs, who's won 3 in a row. That's at 7:30 Eastern. Then LeBron and the Lakers, they've won 6 straight. They'll square off against the Nuggets, who wrap up a 4-game homestand. So Tennessee has to put Kush Kidwa on the bench with 3 fouls. Marta Suarez will come in and play that 4 spot, so a little bit smaller inside for Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee is smaller inside, but Marta Suarez is another perimeter threat. We saw her hit that 3 to end the second quarter. So now it will extend the Texas A&M defense, should open up things for Tamari Key inside.
Here is Marta Suarez guarded by India Jones. Horston with the spin. And Key is fouled on the putback.
Got to give a lot of confidence to the perimeter players at Tennessee that you can take shots, you can take chances because you've got post players that'll play cleanup inside.
Oh, what a luxury that is. Tamari Key gets the first. That was the second foul on India Jones. It was just a few games ago, Tamari Key had a triple-double against Florida. 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 blocks. It was just the 4th triple-double in Tennessee history.
And I remind you, she is just a sophomore. I'm sure the Lady Vol fans are going to want to see more of that throughout her career.
Nixon off the screen, bounces out, and Tamari Key's there for the rebound. Tennessee out rebounding A&M by 10. Ray Burrell, scoop shot. India Jones trying to get past Suarez. Foul on Jordan Nixon.
Aggies foul number 5, Jordan Nixon. That's her first. Team foul number 2.
Tennessee attacking off the ball screen and putting Sierra Johnson in it. Ray Burrell attacks the post. Burrell just has the quickness and athleticism to be able to finish over the size of Sierra Johnson.
They give it back to Burrell at the top of the key. Suarez in the corner looking for her second 3 of the afternoon. Crushed it.
Suarez has been nursing a bad ankle, and Kelly Harper said she's day to day. I think she's going to be quarter to quarter from now on the way she's shooting the basketball.
Putback won't go for Aaliyah Wilson, but she will go to the line.
Marta Suarez, I mean, remember, she's from Spain and coming from club ball, playing against other professionals, potential professionals. She has come into this program with a lot of confidence. Kelly Harper talks about the maturity of which she plays with. She has such a high basketball IQ. And one of her role models, her idols, Larry Bird, and talking to her about that Larry Bird jersey that she has, she just beams with excitement.
It says a lot about a freshman who can come in and start immediately. Marta Suarez has been in the starting lineup for Tennessee all season, except while she's been dealing with this lower leg injury. Key in trouble. Johnson tried to take it away from her. It's going to be a held ball. Tennessee will keep it. He has it knocked away by Nixon, but she touched it last. Aggies take it.
Now that's something Key hasn't done all game, is put the ball on the floor, really out in front of her, not going anywhere. She's got to do her work early. Continue what she did in the first half, and that is sit on your defense and have 2 feet in the paint. Then you just have to turn, pivot, and score.
L ball, Aggies ball.
Possession arrow now pointing to Texas A&M. This game has been close all afternoon. We were tied at the end of the first quarter. We were tied at halftime. Now just a 4-point lead for Tennessee. Wells. Destiny Pitts on the drive. Floater for Pitts is good.
Key a little late getting down the floor. They've got a mismatch right now. Destiny Pitts is guarding Tamari Key. Quick reversal, and the duck-in's what you have.
Elaine just opened up for Renaya Davis to go to the basket. She's in double figures.
Well, that post up by Key really opened up that lane for the drive.
And then Tamari Key gets down the floor and helps on defense, forces that turnover. You know, we were talking to Kelly Harper, and she said, we looked back at the Texas A&M game from last year, and that's a game that Tennessee lost to A&M. Kennedy Carter had 37 points in that game. They lost by 2 points. And Kelly Harper told us, we're a totally different team now.
Well, and that is so, that's when she was talking about so encouraged of the progress and the development of the talent of her team. And it's paid dividends. Right now, Tennessee 6-2 in the SEC.
We've got 3 wins over ranked opponents, looking for another one here. That's an air ball by Horston. Nixon weaving through the lane, won't get the bucket, but she will go to the free throw line when we come back.
Tennessee on the road, but attacking in the paint. Hit the high percentage shot when you're on the road.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Close game in the third quarter inside Reed Arena. Tennessee leads A&M 46-42. Both of these teams at the top of the SEC standings, right behind South Carolina. Texas A&M at 9-1 in conference play. Tennessee at 6-2. A&M's only loss is to LSU, a team they came back and beat just a few weeks after that one loss on the season.
Well, Texas A&M's trying to keep their slate clean the rest of the way because their final game of the regular season is against South Carolina, who sits at the top. Gary Blair wants a piece or a possibility to play for a piece of the SEC regular season championship.
This has been a close ball game all afternoon. Courtney Lyle and Carolyn Peck with you. Jordan Nixon is at the free throw line. Texas A&M is known for those big post players, and they haven't had a lot of success today against Tennessee.
Well, Tennessee has dictated really this game in the paint, and the Texas A&M post players have gone more away to the face-up or trying to score on a cut as opposed to just posting up, where on the other side, Tennessee is the one, they have just put a body on somebody and said, hey, give me the ball, and then take the ball straight to the rim.
Oh, Davis almost had a rebound, but tossed it into the hands of Nixon. Wells driving. Foul.
And that's more the style of how Gary Blair wants to play. When you're playing against the size of Tennessee and you have an opportunity in transition, look, go get the bucket or get yourself to the free throw line before Tennessee's defense gets set.
Now, when you're prepping for Texas A&M, Kelly Harper told us, the head coach of Tennessee, you've got to be ready for everything because they can morph. If their paint points aren't coming, they can shoot the outside shot. They can run in transition. They can make other things happen because they're one of the most experienced teams in the SEC.
And you're exactly right. We talked about the Texas A&M team from last year. Pretty much you said, shut down Kennedy Carter and you have a shot at beating Texas A&M. This year, shut down the post play, you got guards. Or take away the guards, you got post game. So you're right. They can morph in so many different ways and able to be productive offensively.
Kayla Wells leading Texas A&M right now with 13 points, her 5th straight game in double figures. Look at the extra effort from Rennia Davis. You think they missed that on Thursday against Kentucky?
I'm telling you, if she's rebounding, her game is on. And that timing on that putback was perfect.
We weren't sure what kind of Rennia Davis we would see. She's had some time off due to medical reasons, was not able to play in the Kentucky game. Remember, Tennessee is coming off a COVID shutdown. But she's looked pretty solid today. 12 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, her win looks good. Her tempo, the speed of which she's playing, her aggressiveness. She has not missed a beat.
So they called an offensive foul on Aaliyah Wilson. That's the 2nd foul on her. And the clock did not start, so we'll redo this real quick.
We talked about the change of position of Rennia Davis. She's playing the 4 right now for the Lady Vols.
Able to play there and at the 3. Tamari Key misses. It'll be Aggie ball. Kush Kidwa, if you're wondering, is not out there for Tennessee. She's got 3 fouls, so she's on the bench right now. She did start this game along with Key.
But having a player like Rennia,
call nothing else there. See Cameron Inouye make the call and give the ball to Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think that was just a good post play as she pivoted and turned. Johnson was there, but she didn't sling or try, with any intent. I think it was a good play.
Any changes you want to see for Texas A&M right now? We're approaching the 3-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. They're down by 3.
Well, one of the things Texas A&M has not done is put Tamari Key in some ball screen action. Even if it's in the corner right now where she's guarding Johnson, make Key have to help, and then you can have Johnson coming off a roller.
Unfortunately, Sierra Johnson just called for the travel there, so that'll give the ball to Tennessee. 2 straight turnovers for Texas A&M.
And see, right now for Tennessee, Sierra Johnson guarding Marta Suarez, I would pull her out, especially the way she can score on the perimeter.
3 seconds. I don't think that's the matchup Tennessee wants. Marta Suarez trying to break down Sierra Johnson.
Yeah, when Marta Suarez recognizes that she's got Sierra Johnson on her, she should automatically go to the high post. Then it's an isolation of India Jones and Tamari Key down low. Tamari Key has a height advantage there. And if she seals, pins, gets the ball, that's an easy 2.
Tennessee is dominating the paint point battle. They have 30 paint points. Texas A&M, who averages 37 paint points a game, has 12. Wilson for 2.
Aaliyah Wilson.
Aaliyah Wilson, the only player for A&M in double figures with 15.
Lady Vols.
We talk about the scoring of Aaliyah Wilson. Gary Blair also compliments Aaliyah Wilson and titles her his best defensive player, his best on-ball defender.
Yeah, she leads them in points per game, but if her points aren't falling, she's still going to give you a ton of effort defensively, so she's not coming out of the basketball game. Jordan Walker getting in on the rebounding action for Tennessee, and she'll go to the free throw line.
Number 2, Aaliyah Wilson.
We have an ACC Big 12 Big Monday doubleheader for you on ESPN and the ESPN app. Number 9 Virginia squaring off against number 17 Florida State. That one's at 7 Eastern. Then we head to the Big 12 for 7th-ranked Texas Tech taking on 11-7 TCU in Fort Worth. That's coming up tomorrow.
Every team scratching, clawing as the season comes to a close and moving toward their conference tournaments. Everybody trying to really make their case to make their resume attractive to advance on to the NCAA tournament.
And it's impressive, too, what all these teams have been through, the extra safety precautions, the extra travel changes, games getting canceled, sometimes 90 minutes before the game starts. Pitts with the spin. A nice move from Destiny Pitts. She's got 7.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Destiny Pitts stay outside shooting a 3. She's been able to be effective taking the ball off the bounce.
Yeah, transfer out of Minnesota. Tennessee's missed its last 4 shots.
You hear Gary Blair say Sierra High. Now, Green has got to recognize Tamari Key is not going to come out and hedge on this ball screen. So there's a pick and pop option for Sierra Johnson as well.
Good move by India Jones. She has 6. About a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
A&M better keep an eye on Marta Suarez. Remember, she hit that 3 at the end of the second quarter.
Orson taking her time.
Shot clock violation, Aggies ball.
Shot clock violation on Tennessee, so Texas A&M will have 1.6 seconds left in the third.
Scoring for 3 quarters, Aggies 51, Lady Volunteers 49.
Texas A&M up, but only barely as we head to the final 10 minutes.
Well, the extra effort, the strong post move from India Jones. The Aggies are going to need more of that to hang on to the lead.
One, just one. Every minute, one woman in the United States is diagnosed with cancer. One mother, one daughter, one wife. Kay Yow saw the power of one.
The biggest obstacles also provide the biggest opportunities.
One adds up. One multiplies. Countless lives have been changed. One can change everything. You are the one. The Kay Yow Cancer Fund. The power of one.
It is Play for Kay. The Kay Yow Cancer Fund has awarded over $7.7 million. It supports the fight against all cancers affecting women. To donate, please visit kyow.com. Some of the best quotes from Kay Yow. We've been gathering them together. I love this last one. When you get behind, don't give up. And when you're ahead, don't let up.
My favorite one is the first one. When life kicks you, let it kick you forward. I live by that. I get kicked plenty. Just make sure it's kicking me in the right direction.
Yeah, Coach Kay Yow did not lose her battle with cancer. She has just handed it over to us. Please donate if you can at visit kyow.com. It has been close all afternoon inside Reed Arena. Courtney Lyle, Carolyn Peck with you for a thriller, a top 16 showdown. We were tied at halftime, and Texas A&M with a narrow lead here. Tennessee does have Cassie Kush-Kitawa back in the game. You see her posting up down low. Got in foul trouble in the third quarter.
And you see how Sierra Johnson is trying to keep Kush-Kitawa from getting 2 feet in the paint. If you're going to play behind the post of Tennessee, that's your best defense.
Ray Burrell on the move, and Sierra Johnson fouls her.
Aggies foul number 40, Sierra Johnson, that's her first
Just the first on Sierra Johnson. It's been a frustrating night for the Texas A&M Post players.
Yeah, but when you're going against the size of Tennessee, you know, the good thing for Texas A&M is the contributions, the scoring, the versatility of being able to manufacture points from their perimeter game.
Yeah, Kayla Wells and Aaliyah Wilson have been fantastic. Wells with 13, Wilson with 11.
And it's not just been from the three-point line because they've only made 3 threes, but it's been those long twos that A&M has been able to knock down.
Oh, and Destiny Pitts is fouled on the three-point shot. By Jordan Horston.
First on the team in quarter number 4.
Second one on Horston.
For the Aggies shooting 3.
Texas A&M has had so much success this season. They're tied for first in the nation in total wins with 18. They've beaten more ranked opponents than any other team in the nation at 7.
And I cannot understand in the polls why they are not in the top 4. Sitting at number 6. They have a net of 14. I don't understand that either. And I think that when they had an opening in their schedule, an opponent had to postpone, he filled that slot with Lamar. That got counted against him. Instead of his team sitting idle, Gary Blair continued to play, and that's why his resume, his net should be much higher.
Well, we'll find out what the selection committee thinks, because tomorrow over on ESPN2 at halftime of the Stanford-Oregon game, they will reveal their top 16 teams if the season ended today. So that'll be really interesting to see where Texas A&M lines up.
Because right now, Charlie Cream, anyway, doesn't have Texas A&M as a number 1 seed. They have the one loss, and that's to LSU, but they rectified that loss by just a few weeks later, they were able to pull off the win.
I mean, I think it goes back to, just look what they've proven they can do against ranked opponents. They've beaten more ranked opponents than anybody with 7.
Lady Vols foul number 20, Tamari Key. Also the second on the
second
team.
foul on
Destiny
Tamari
Pitts
Key.
for Texas A&M.
Tennessee has a pretty solid resume, too. They've got 3 ranked wins this season. Got a big win against Arkansas. They beat Kentucky in the first meeting. They did lose to Kentucky on Thursday, but their schedule is just crazy right now. Tennessee, of course, played the ranked Kentucky team on Thursday. Today, they've got Texas A&M, and it's not going to get any easier coming up this week because they've got a quick turnaround for Tuesday.
Yeah, they go from here to Starkville, Mississippi, and play Mississippi State. And then on Thursday, they return home to play South Carolina and follow that up with number 24, Georgia, that just had a big win over Missouri.
Well, Tennessee in a tough stretch, but they are lucky they've got Renia Davis back because of that right there.
This is going to be a chess match down the stretch, and Gary Blair is so good. We've seen game after game, the close games, closing them out.
Wow, how did India Jones get that pass through traffic? Okay, going back to your point, Carolyn, Texas A&M is 5-1 this season in games decided by 5 points or less.
Penalty violation, Aggies ball.
India Jones, you just keep your head up, and when 2 defenders come to you, and instead of going over the top, she went underneath. Little scoop pass to Sierra Johnson.
Wells for 2, short.
Oh, I thought Ray Burrell got away with another travel.
Yep. Pitts in transition, the three. Destiny Pitts now with 12 points.
That's what she did at the University of Minnesota so well in the Big Ten, knocking down the long ball.
9 of her points have come in this half.
Look, 78% of her scoring comes from the three-point line. You better get to number 3.
Ray Burrell comes through with a bucket. She's up to 16 to lead Tennessee. Burrell has 11 points here in the second half.
She got off to a slow start, but keep an eye on Ray Burrell down the stretch because she can just make some really tough shots.
Jordan Walker fouls Nixon, cut to the basket. Well, Wednesday on the SEC Network and the ESPN app, our basketball doubleheader starts at 7 Eastern with Kentucky taking on Vanderbilt. Then Texas A&M hosts number 11 Alabama. Texas A&M's had their last 4 games postponed. Their last game was back on January 30th. So fingers crossed that they'll have a chance to play that one coming up on Wednesday on the SEC Network.
You better hope the weather clears up in Bryan College Station. The ice that is there today, they even encourage fans not to come to the game for safety reasons.
Yeah, Tennessee came over this morning for shoot-around to Reed Arena. Their bus couldn't make it back to pick them up because of the ice. They ended up having their film session on the concourse. Whatever it takes to play this game. This is the 3rd time Tennessee Texas A&M has been on the schedule this year. The first time they've actually played.
It's like, come heck or high water, we're playing this game today.
Good save on that one.
It's Sunday.
It's going to be Texas A&M ball. I think they got a foul on Renia Davis.
Renia Davis wants some clarification on that. Jordan Nixon on the box out and that hook. Renia Davis got called with intertangling her arm with Jordan Nixon and got called for the foul.
Lady Ball's foul number 33, Marcus Suarez. That's her 3rd. Team foul number 5. 12, Ray Burrell.
And remember down the stretch, we highlighted it of Jordan Nixon in orchestrating the last-second shot against Arkansas twice. You're going to see Gary Blair put the ball in the hands of Jordan Nixon. The trust that he has in this point guard in order to really execute what he needs down the stretch.
There was a point guard competition at the start of the season between Jordan Nixon and 2 others, and Nixon won that battle. She is much more comfortable running this team now. She knows her teammates better than she ever has and can put them in great situations.
And she compliments the other point guards, and she says they have made her better because of that competition.
Renia Davis pops the 3, 17 points in Renia Davis's return.
And that's what the Lady Vols have. They have Renia Davis, and they also have Ray Burrell that make big shots in big moments. And Kelly Harper's going to have them handle the basketball a lot for the Lady Vols down the stretch.
A&M throws it away. Tennessee will take it, trailing by 3.
You saw the dynamic duo of the Lady Vols, Ray and Ree talking to each other. Ray Burrell and Renia Davis. They're going to work this thing out and really be in control for the Lady Vols down the stretch.
Both very experienced players. Ray Burrell, a junior, Renia Davis, a senior. Jordan Horston finds herself wide open. Kushkitawa with the rebound. Johnson down low, high-low from India Jones to Sierra Johnson. Oh, and you can't give the basket that wide open to Rennia Davis. With Texas A&M on top by 3.
Sierra Johnson just working the reverse pivot to gain advantage in the positioning and the finish. That's what the Aggies have been looking for.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on ESPN.
Just about 4 minutes to go in a close ball game inside Reed Arena. Tennessee down by 3 points. Courtney Lyle and national championship winning head coach Carolyn Peck with you. For Tennessee to get back in this game and beat Texas A&M, what do they have to do?
Well, the Lady Vols need more production from their post players. So far in the second half between Key and Keshketawa, they've only scored 2 points. They need to go back to that just pound bully ball down low of posting up, getting the ball, and getting the finish or getting themselves to the free throw line.
And what's changed for A&M in the second half? Because the first half, Tennessee dominated down low.
Well, I think the movement of the post players for Texas A&M and allowing opportunities for their guards, and Texas A&M is getting to the free throw line.
Now, Texas A&M has hit 15 free throws. So we'll step aside one more time. Close one, coming down to the wire, under 4 minutes left in College Station.
Texas A&M with a 3-point lead, and a lot of it has to do with the strong play of Sierra Johnson. She has found ways to really diversify her game. First going around the post of Tennessee, and then the outside game. Then going inside, her confidence has continued to build. Down the stretch now for Texas A&M, the Aggies are going to have the presence felt of Sierra Johnson, whether it be inside or use her in some ball screens. Pull Tamari Key away from the basket, make Key help on penetration, then you have the dump to Johnson.
Aaliyah Wilson is at the line right now for Texas A&M. A&M has hit 15 free throws on the afternoon. Both teams have held a 6-point lead at one point in this game. Tennessee down by 3. Keshketawa, no, the putback won't go.
And that's where she has been so good all game. When the guards have shot from the perimeter, she's been there to play cleanup.
Aaliyah Wilson has been pretty solid too, 13 points, 50% shooting.
Wells and Wilson, they've been the dynamic duo for Texas A&M.
Davis drives in and gets the foul called.
Aggies foul number 40, Sierra Johnson, that's her third.
Aaliyah Wilson is so good off the ball screen there. When Ray Burrell goes behind the screen, Wilson recognizes she's got that window. It opened, and so she was able to pull the trigger.
Rennia Davis has her 4th game with 20 or more points this season. This is a game after not being able to play due to medical reasons on Thursday.
Destiny Fitz checks in for Texas A&M. Second personal foul on Sierra Johnson. Personal foul number 2.
So Texas A&M has gone small ball, taken India Jones out of the game. 4 guards on the floor. Has Destiny Pitts now inside. This is the mismatch with Cassie Kishketawa against Kayla Wells. She's not able to finish.
Kishketawa reposted up, almost lost it. Kicks back to Horston. Still time for Tennessee. Floater from Jordan Horston.
Lady Vols ball.
Key had it poked out from behind. It will stay with Tennessee.
India Jones checks back in for Texas A&M.
India Jones back in for A&M. You see her down low on Ray Burrell. Ray Burrell and Renaya Davis have scored all of Tennessee's points here in the fourth quarter.
Also third on the team. Ray Burrell on the line for Tennessee.
Well, India Jones, she's got the height advantage. She doesn't need to slap down. See, that's just, you got to be patient as a post player. They are just straight up. That's what Gary Blair calls bank robber defense. Just put both hands in the air. Don't foul right there.
Destiny
1 point
Pitts
game
checks in for
thanks to the
Texas
free
A&M.
throws from Ray Burrell.
And you see the rotations. Gary Blair's going offense for defense. So Destiny Pitts back in again offensively. Cassie Keshketawa, a post player, matched up with Kayla Wells.
Aggies ball.
Stays with A&M. About 2 minutes to play. Texas A&M looking for its 8th win over a ranked opponent. Destiny Pitts has called her own number in the second half, and it is paying off.
And now, can Tennessee take advantage of the size mismatch?
And one for Renaya Davis.
Basket by Renaya Davis. Aggies foul number 11, Kayla Wells. That's her first.
This is what Tennessee didn't have in that fourth quarter against Kentucky. Renaya Davis to hit those clutch shots.
Well, she just big bucket and through the defense of Kayla Wells off the ball screen, and the bench, they love it.
She won't finish the three-point play, but still a huge bucket for Tennessee. And Gary Blair will call timeout. A minute 32 to go. We'll step aside, but just for a moment. 2-point ball game inside Reed Arena. Texas A&M takes that timeout. They get Destiny Pitts in the ball game, who has 15 points today.
And when you put Destiny Pitts into the game, then there's a mismatch, because as long as Tennessee wants to keep the size in defensively, then it's going to be Cassie Keshketawa who is going to have to guard Kayla Wells. But then on the other end, what Tennessee can do is go to Keshketawa because she's got the size advantage offensively.
And Destiny Pitts just threw the foul on a three-pointer. She's already had 8 points in the fourth quarter.
That's what is so tough with this lineup. And so Kelly Harper's got to make the decision, do I go small ball also and take one of my bigs off the floor just to match up with the perimeter defensively to get stops and then come down and score to keep this game tight?
New season high for Destiny Pitts as she has 17 now. One more free throw to go. Gets all three. So Pitts will go out and Dia Jones back in on the defensive end for A&M. Both teams with 3 timeouts, 1:20 to go.
And now what Tennessee can do with Sierra Johnson on Tamari Key, involve her in the ball screen action.
Offensive foul on Renia Davis. Jordan Nixon stepping up at the end of a game again to get the ball in Texas A&M's hands.
Just quick hands right there. That's just the high basketball IQ of the point guard. The veteran, the transfer from Notre Dame has really played dividends for Texas A&M. Gary Blair has great trust and loves how Jordan Nixon thinks the game.
She has 5 steals in this game, too.
So now Tennessee's going to have to get the ball and come down. They're going to need to score quick. That doesn't necessarily need a 3. They need to have something going to the basket.
1 minute to go.
Davis takes a long 3. It's a long rebound into the hands of Horston. Wide open lane right down Main Street.
Well, that drive by Davis, that's exactly what they needed the first time. No need to panic on that first 3, so a lot of time went off the clock. Now, Texas A&M is going to have the ability to advance the basketball. Texas A&M called that timeout. And now what Tennessee has got to do is more of this. Attack the basket when they get the possession, when they have possession of the basketball. But defensively now, they need to try to get a 5-second call. They need to not allow the ball to come in. And then they're gonna need, it's a 2-possession game, they're gonna need to foul.
So it was Tennessee that called this timeout.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Gary Blair calls a follow-up timeout so that he can advance the basketball. But Tennessee needed to get their defense set.
Tennessee will have 2 timeouts remaining. Texas A&M has 3.
And the worst free throw shooter on the floor right now for Texas A&M is Sierra Johnson. She shoots 64%. But the problem is the post players don't normally touch the ball on an inbound.
So A&M has now called a timeout, meaning they can advance the ball.
So now that leaves Texas A&M with 2 timeouts left.
Davis will inbound.
You know, Texas A&M could just foul, put Tennessee at the line, because then you only get 2 points, only giving up 2 points at that possession, or right there, didn't get the 3, they have the ball.
And now Tennessee has to foul because they're running out of time, 23.1 seconds. And again, we'll see Jordan Nixon go to the line.
Jordan Nixon on the line for the Aggies, shooting 2.
Third foul on Horston. Jordan Nixon has had all 12 of her points in this half.
You see, she's disappointed in missing that free throw. She's like, let me have that back.
Gets the second one. 8-point lead for A&M.
Tennessee's got to go quick. It's just too long in developing.
Lady ball spot number 33, Marcus Suarez, that's her 4th.
This game was close all afternoon. We were tied at the end of the first quarter, tied at halftime. Tennessee dominated inside in that first half, but Texas A&M, with so many weapons, found a way when their post presence wasn't working against a tall Tennessee team to take the lead back and get the job done.
Well, and you look at the different ways that Texas A&M has been able to counter whatever Tennessee was trying to take away. The committee, the NCAA committee, has to take a look at that, because that eye test is definitely passed for Texas A&M to look at moving up the rank and being able to potentially be a #1 seed. I just don't get it. As good as they have looked and been able to come through adversity and pull off wins.
And Texas A&M is going to find a way to get it done. The resume just gets better and